I Divine Cybermancy is a game. I'm comfortable about saying that much. The rest of it is so lost in what is even going on that it's kind of hard to be really one way or the other about it. It left me feeling very mellow, but with a strange want to get back into it for some reason. It's possible because I barely scraped the surface and I hadn't touched any of the powers, vaguely understood the leveling system. I only got a few of the weapons and more. But I think I got a good idea of what the game is for the most part. I Divine Cybermancy, which just call I to make your life easier, because the whole Divine Cybermancy thing is a thing left to the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus for the glory of the Omnissiah and the Machine God. The game is heavily inspired by Warhammer, as it's all tech and religion. It seems that it's hard to pull apart, with even things like the sights on the double-barrel shotgun being religious symbol. Now it may come as a small surprise that these devs actually ended up making a Warhammer game, Warhammer Space Hulk, and I'm not going to delve too deep into that, but it's a bit of a buggy mess, which is surprising because this game doesn't actually have too many bugs. I think something that felt scrapped together would have been glitching out every few minutes or so, but I've only had a few crashes here and there and one level which I think I had to restart. But let's get to the meat and potatoes. The gameplay sucks. Maybe. From what I saw, I only touched upon it. Apparently there's players who use invisibility to sneak in, blow the head off their target, then sneak back out. But that being said, I had to get a bunch of money and experience, and it seems to take a bit longer than just about a week to get there. With classes and stuff, it was hard to get to, but the gunplay was aggressively fine. Mainly me just messing around with the weapons you do get. Sometimes the 50 cal was a bit weird. Most of the time it would one-shot some enemies, then take 3 to 4 shots for some others. I can't really levy any criticism since it was just fine. Could have been a lot better. The weapons themselves were pretty over the top. Again, the double barrel literally has a religious symbol idol as a sight. The minigun is carved with runes and other semi-zealous imagery. The armor itself is all over. The light armor can be like knight armor, something more tactical, and the heavy armor looks straight out of like the Black Templars with holy looking adornment. Again, it's heavily inspired by Warhammer, and for those familiar, most likely inspired by the Iron Hands chapter of Space Marines, with all their cybernetic enhancements. The religion and the philosophy of it is based off of Eastern influence, but also with very prevalent historical figures, including like Sun Tzu, Winston Churchill, Shakespeare, Mao Zedong, and tons of other just being quoted in the freaking loading screen. I don't know why, but just this over-the-top, like, ridiculous philosophical feeling. I love this influence. I love this imagery. It's so ridiculous that I can barely piece it all together, and the game shines when I'm walking through the halls of the main headquarters and I see some random freaking weird statue or something like that. The only issue is piecing together. The written text is hard, as the game is from French developers, and while they have translated it, it's not the best translation. There are some ideas that are hard to describe because of a translation error, or just because the game is just hard to actually get into. Thanks to a Mr. Long P? I can't really describe it at all. He tried, I suppose. And I played with my buddy V. He shares a mildly differing opinion. He was very supportive of the game, so straight from his mouth.
For a game made by a bunch of sci-fi nerds off Source Engine, the audacity of I's visuals and lore-oriented story, personally, makes up for minor gripes with gameplay, which itself has some serious replayability unexpected of a 6-ish hour campaign. The game suffers in some notable ways, but if you're willing to sit with its issues and accept them, you really can see why this game has such a devoted following despite its seeming simplicity.
Overall, I don't know what to say. It's a strange game, and it's going for a very particular theme. I can't properly review the game because I haven't put enough hours into it. What I can definitely say, though, is if you like over-the-top Warhammer action, if you like getting stuck into a game, this might be the game for you. Thank you for watching. If you could, like and subscribe, that'd be appreciated.